Hello, everyone. Welcome to this webinar on AI, cloud, and security on the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. My name is Benoit Bilodeau. I'm a solution architect at Solidxperts. And today we're going to talk about exactly that, about security with AI and cloud in the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. We're going to try to make this maybe lighter than the topic seems to be. It is a topic that might be heavy usually, but let's try to just make an overview of everything and see if we can help understanding where Deso is working on security. So this is nice. A bold innovation demands a foundation of absolute reliability. This is easy to say, right? But it means that you need the platform needs to be secure, and in order to build the trust for you, our customers, to be able to feel comfortable using the platform. Well, this is what Deso wants to do, and it relies on 6 pillars. Let's call them this way. So we're talking about security, regulatory compliance, quality, confidentiality, availability, and trusted AI. 6 pillars. We're going to explain them, each and every one of them. Sorry about that. And let's see where this is going to bring us into this conversation. So let's start with security. So the Dassault system believes in a lot of the things I'm going to talk about today is by design, meaning that there's a mindset at Dassault system where it comes to the platform, and one of them is security by design, meaning that it is in the core of what they consider when they build the platform. So it's very important for them. It is multidimensional and proactive, meaning in this way also that people at so there are teams that are in place to always monitor and have quick response if there's any incidents, and also doing a lot of testing, meaning that they have a team that even have a contest, like a bug contest, in order to see if they cannot find any problems with the platform, giving rewards to ex-hackers. So this way to simulate attacks. This is the rigorous vulnerability testing. And also a lot of international certifications and standards. You're going to hear me talking about certifications along the whole presentation. It is very important for Dassault to be audited on these security issues. So they have a lot of certifications. We're going to talk about them a bit later on. And it is a shared responsibility model. What we mean by that is, there's you, the customer, right? And you're responsible for some of the things. You're responsible for your own data. For instance, you're also responsible for the devices you use, the access points you're using, and you also are mostly responsible for identity and access management. Meaning that if you're giving an access to your platform to an employee or maybe a customer or maybe a supplier, well, you have to be certain that these people, need to be checked on your security. So this is going to be a vulnerability point. So you're responsible for this. And all your aspects, though, you kind of get rid of all these responsibilities, since applications, operating systems, virtualization, physical resources in that data center are all under the responsibility of Dassault system, which is good because you don't have to really care about where this is going to be hosted to take care of all the infrastructure security. You just put them on Dassault's shoulder, and they're going to take care of them for you. So I think it's a fairly good way to get rid of all these heavy AV responsibilities with computers infrastructure. So that being said, you're responsible again for your own data, for your devices, access points, and the identity and the access management of your employees or anybody else who will access your platform. So let's talk about regulatory compliance. Compliance is about frameworks and certifications. So we come back again on the certifications. We're going to talk a bit later on about that. Privacy protection is very important. So when you open an account, a 3D Passport account, honestly, all they ask you is your email, your name, and a password. They're not asking any personal information or even professional information. You give less to Dassault than you would give to LinkedIn, for instance, right? I mean, LinkedIn, let's be serious, they're asking for a lot. So basically, privacy is a paramount for Dassault system on the platform. So you can trust them. They're not going to try to steal any information from you. And there's also a lot of brand and industry specific approach in the certifications. Mind you, if you're automotive, you're oil and gas, your healthcare, your food industry, your aerospace. These are all different business industry, and they will have each their own certifications requirement, which you can find in on the platform. So Dassault is getting certified for these. For instance, you see these are a couple of examples. So the quality management system there, you see all the different certifications that Dassault has, and you can double check that. We'll talk a bit later on about that. So these are the certifications that are recognized, and for which Dassault are recognized. Sorry. Also, confidentiality. Again, it's just always the same thing. If you see the third line here says privacy by design, we're always going by something by design, meaning all the things we're talking about are in the core of how Dassault sees the platform. So they want to make sure that privacy is controlled. They want to make sure confidentiality. They want to make sure as well as the security. Everything is always, all these preoccupations are in the core of all the programming teams at Dassault System. They have a data privacy program, making sure that people are trained and about the data protection, about confidentiality, and how to manage incidents if they ever occur. They have certifications, a couple of them being also on the website. We'll tell you about where to find this information. So 27001 2022, for instance, ISO is one of them about security of information, and there's a lot more of them. So we can show them a bit later on. And there are also, I have to mention also the International Frameworks Cooperation. So we have to always understand that these servers, wherever they are, that are in which the infrastructure of the 3DEXPERIENCE platform is running, they're located in countries, and these governments have laws. So we have to respect these laws, but you have to be aware, be reassured that if for any reason any legal actions by a government is asking to access your data, we have to comply, but it has to go through tribunals. It's complicated, and you will be warned as soon as there is a demand to access your information. It would be better if this was something that wouldn't happen, and I don't think it will happen a lot, but just know that if it ever happens, you will be warned about that. You will be advised on how to deal with that. Availability. So as you can see, we are a globally deployed infrastructure at Dassault System. So there's a lot of servers all around the world, and the availability is, it is transparent. So if you go to that website, you can click there and look at all the information on each of their servers. You can see the history of failures or history of downtime, and all is transparent. So Dassault wants you to understand, if something happens, why at least, and when is it going to be back online. And the fact that there's so many servers all around the world, you have a lot of redundancy, right? So this way, it is, by the way, if you have teams that are scattered around the globe, you can, have your data reproduced and replicated onto a server in another country. So it brings better performance and availability. So I need to mention that as well. What else now? Yeah, trusted AI. So let's talk about AI for a second. There's a big push on the platform to talk about AI. I think everybody wants to hear about AI. And one of the things people want to be reassured on is the fact that it is a secure AI platform. And in that aspect, Dassault is training its models on Dassault Systèmes proprietary data and also on synthetic data. So this way, they're not using customer data at the moment, right? And it means that your data are not used for training AI, so they're protected. It's your IP. You don't want your IP being, used by AI for training, and having the risk of this IP become available. So Dassault System is not using your data. But there's also an interesting aspect about training with your own data, meaning that if an AI uses your own data, it's going to become better with your data, right? So that the result will be more in online with what you do as a company. So there might be in the future some plan to have like a client enhanced model. This is future, as it says here. There's no time frame on that. There's no delivery promises, but this is something that Dassault is looking at. How could they do this in a way that it would be secure, right? Because again, we're coming back to security. They would love to be able to offer a way where this could be a secure way where your data would be into your tenant and would not be shared with anybody else. So that's, we look forward into what is coming up with AI and our own data as a customer. With that being said, we're talking again about data integrity, about transparency and traceability, about IP protection, and ethical AI lifestyle. It's important because, as about ethical AI, you want to make sure that when you reduce bias, especially when you're having a chat with Aura, for instance. And let's keep in mind that at Dassault System, the way the AI has been designed, it is based on science, unproven science, meaning that it is trained on scientific data, not on hope or magic or whatever we can find on the internet. It is based on pure and applied science so that as engineers, we can trust whatever advice we're going to get from the AI. And on that, keep in mind, you're in control with the AI in Dassault System 3DEXPERIENCE. We are not going to leave the AI take control. The control is yours. It's there to automate, to assist you, and to co-create. It's fine, but the AI is not going to take over. It is based on science, so it should be reliable. But in the end, you're going to be, as an engineer, you're going to be the ones who are going to be accountable for the decisions you're going to take. So it's important that you are the one taking these decisions. I think we all agree on that. So again, you are in control. I know it's a quick overview, right? Keep in mind that all that I've said is available on Dassault's website. If you want to learn more about which website to go, no problem. We're going to send you information. Just do a thumbs up, right? So, and in the chat, and then we can even answer some questions that you might have, and give you the information on that website where to find all this information. And the information is extensive, by the way. You'll find all the certificates will be there if you need to see them, if you need to offer information to the IT personnel at your company, and everything there is available. All right, so again, thank you very much. Let's keep in touch. My name is Benoit Bilodeau again. And if you want to join and get our newsletter, just scan this QR code. And these are all the wonderful partners in which we work with. Thank you again. Have a great day.